Hi everybody, coming at you from home today. I have to pick up one of our job candidates at the airport this afternoon and take him to Las Cruces, so getting things done from here. Just want to tell you a little bit about the activities for this week, so let me minimize my view of myself and go to the module for this week. This week we are talking about and getting into some more technical kinds of information about research, talking about research questions and purpose statements and hypotheses and operational definitions and all kinds of stuff. The format for this week is going to be largely similar to what we've done in past weeks. There's going to be a quiz on the chapter, a short quiz this week. Then there's going to be a research article quiz as well, which we've been doing pretty consistently week to week. And then there's one other exercise which I've labeled Thinking About Your Study. This is part one of that, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a second. The Chapter 5 quiz is pretty standard in terms of the kinds of things I ask from the chapter. This one has only 10 questions and you will only get one attempt at it, so make sure you read the chapter before taking the quiz. There's 10 true or false and multiple choice questions on that, so make sure you read before you take that. We also have this week a new exercise, and it's something we're going to work on throughout this the rest of this semester, and it's called Thinking About Your Study. Years ago, when I was teaching this class, I came up with a long kind of laundry list that helps you conceptualize all the aspects of your study and kind of jot them down to help you clarify what your ideas are going to be about. We're going to use that a modified version of that worksheet in class this year. And so what your instructions are is to complete and only complete questions 1 through 8 on the Thinking About Your Proposed Study worksheet. That worksheet is a lot longer than 8 questions, but we will continue to work on it as we go through it. Let me pull this preview down a little bit. Working extremely slow to get the file preview. I don't know why. And here it comes. So this is a pretty straightforward kind of document that's going to require you to think about the study that you are proposing for this class. Again, you're not going to do that study, you're just proposing the study. And so it's going to ask you to talk about the title for your research proposal. It's going to ask you about the purpose of the research proposal. You know, what is the purpose statement, as we talked about in the chapter? What is the guiding theory, if any? Those sorts of questions. So again, I only want you to complete questions 1 through 8, which are on the first page of this, but as you start filling it in, questions 8 may drop to page 2. Keep your answers fairly brief and to the point, and then when you're done, re-upload this document as the submission for this assignment. So there's that, and let's go back. And finally, we have another research article quiz. We've been reading research articles most every week and then answering questions about those articles. This assignment is no different in that general sense, but it is different in terms of the kinds of questions that are being asked. So you might want to preview. You get 3 chances at this quiz. I know you probably don't need 3 chances, but you might want to take your first pass through to look at the questions, because the questions are a lot more technical, a lot more related to the terminology and concepts introduced in Chapter 5, and we want to reflect that. So keep that in mind. But still the same format. Fill it out. I think I accidentally clicked on the wrong quiz. It should be quiz 5, not quiz 4. Yeah, there it is. Research article quiz 5. So this is going to ask you to identify research questions, hypotheses, things of that nature, not to just describe the study in general terms, which we've done in the past. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is, this book is structured around a 5-chapter thesis as a dissertation or thesis, as a way to help students who are doing that sort of project organize their information and write those sections. One of the things I do want to make is, we are going to have a brief introduction for our research proposals, but I'm not going to ask you guys to do a complete literature review, right? That's something that's a little bit outside the scope of this class. We are going to focus on having a brief introduction that states the problem, tells us about the purpose of the study, and then moves quickly into the methods of that study, because we are studying research methods. So just keep that in mind, because there's a lot of language in this chapter about, some of this material may be repeated in the literature review. We are not going to do a full-blown literature review for our papers. In fact, that reminds me of one last thing I do want to tell you is, when you look at the thinking about your study and doing those questions, and I clicked it, and here it comes. One of the things that I have stated here is that I highly recommend that before starting the worksheet that you consult the instructions for the research proposal. So what that means is 2 things. One is you should consult those instructions, but it also means that those instructions are now available to you as well to review. So you can find them here within the Thinking About Your Study module, but you can also find the same instructions for the research proposal in the general module. So this first general information module now contains the research proposal instructions document for that big assignment that's due at the end of the year, and then I also tucked the Thinking About Your Study document here in the general resources as well, so it's there as well. The other thing I did is I unmuted the hanging indent video, which I had forgotten to do. I posted it but didn't unmute it, so it wasn't available. It should be available now. So, okay, if you have any questions, please use the course Q&A discussion board or contact me directly, and we're moving on. So, hope you're learning something in this class. Okay, signing off for now.